Can you hear my cricket, my chicken? He's saying hey too. Hi. I gotta check my sound real quick. Just make sure everything's copacetic. I hear myself. Everything is copacetic. In addition to that, I'm safe today. I'm sitting and feeling excited because we are going to make us another pixel art. And if you're wondering where I'm at, I'm very close to the last pixel art that we just created, right there. And that's because this is going to be kind of like my spring. Hello, sweethearts. Oh, aren't they cute? I like the new boxed, more boxy babies that they have. They're so cute. We're going to do a master bunny today. This is a grand master bunny. This is the king of all spring. So, it's an advanced, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. And here's why it's not bad. It's only 12 colors and it's only 7 grids. And a lot of the grids don't even go up. A lot of the pixel doesn't go up very much. I'm not doing the background on this one. What's going to make it advanced is that I'm going to move fast because I'm running out of time and summer's coming and it's time for my vacation. Generally, I don't do any scheduled streaming in the summer. I just do it when I get a chance because you gotta work while the iron's hot. And summer comes and boy, we're busy here. So let me show you where we're at. If you have been following me, then you watched this Fabergé egg be created the last couple of episodes. It's sitting next to my church, and that's in front of a huge, beautiful little water structure that I'm working on. You can see I'm continuing it along. And then on this side, there's going to be a little schoolhouse that will look just like the church, okay? In this little area here, but I have to repair a whole bunch of land first. And next to it, here, is the Grand Master Bunny. And so the kids' play yard will be right here in front of this beautiful piece of art. And then there'll be some swing sets and stuff that go out to there. And it'll look really cool. And all of this is along my rail. So I have this rail that runs from my blow yard. This is in my blow yard, which means that piece of pixel art will eventually be blown up. And maybe it might be a little too close to the rail. Anyways, this is like a 5-minute rail ride, and I've been working on it for a couple years now. And it's very slow, and as you go through, it's just very peaceful. And eventually I'll put it to music. And I've had a lot of people, not a lot, 4 or 5, maybe half a dozen, asked me to do, including my husband, asked me to do ASRP. I think that's it. I have to look it up. I'm not sure. So I'm working on that to eventually maybe have that 5-minute rail ride be a YouTube session. Okay, so if you're going to copy, and trust me, you're going to want to copy this one. It's so cute and so adorable that you're going to want this in your world somewhere. So if you are unfamiliar with what we do here, it's basically paint by number. We use grid lines, and in between each of these grid lines are 10 spaces. So there's 10 block there and then a grid, and then 10 block there and then a grid. This one has 7 grids, approximately 80 high. The majority of it is 80 high. So that's how you would set up your grids in order to make this piece of pixel art. Now you can use code. You can see that I used some code, removed a whole bunch of land, and I'll even remove more. And if you're unfamiliar with how to do that, I think I have that on my YouTube channel. If I don't, let me know, and I will definitely make a quick little clip of how to use code to add and remove block. Okay, so as I said, this is a 13 color pixel art. So let's get busy. I'll explain the color I picked and then the color that the pattern shows. The pattern shows kind of a light tan. Well, good luck finding a light tan. So I used yellow concrete. Then number 2 for the pattern is a pale light. So it's really like that color there, minus the brick. But I'm going to use it anyway, see if I like it. Number 3 is a pale coral. That's the best I could find for that. Number 4 is a pale coral. That's the best I could find for that. 5 is a straight up brown. 6 is, it's not as yellow as the gold is, but it has probably a little bit more of a green tint in it, but I'm going to use gold anyway. 7 is lime green, and I always use the slime block because I can backlight it. 8 is just, I would say, hunter green. 9 is black. And then 10, 11, and 12 are orange, dark orange, and dark green. So I need to get those now. So I'm just using pick block here. I'm going to put those in their perspective places. This is what I mean by putting your belt proper. This is 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 colors. Easy as far as the colors, because that means we're only switching out for 2 colors. By switching out, I mean this number 1 spot is transitory. So if I say 12, the 1 goes up and the 12 comes down. When you're done with the 12 goes back up and the 1 comes down. 2 through 9 never move. They never move. Do you hear me? They never move. Only 1 is the transitory spot. All right, well, hey. Good morning. Oh, I started way too high. Good morning. Good morning. We slept the night away. Good morning. Good morning to you. I can't hardly sing this morning. It's pollen season here, so it's been affecting me. All right, so you could do this in survival mode, but it's really hard. You would have to really use a lot of scaffolding, and I built big things in survival mode, but my suggestion is to be in creative so you can fly around. Okay, so looking at the grids, at this point you should have prepped your area to look like this. If this is grid 1, 2, 3, go to 4. It's a very tall one. And we're going to start on the right side of 4, okay? So we're going to do that grid. I take a sip of coffee, and then we'll get going. So get ready. I'll be right back. Okay. I have to check my sound again. I hear it. All right, so it's easy. It's paint by numbers. I'm going to move fast and I'm going to call ahead. And that's what's going to make it advanced. So if you can't keep up, you can always pause and rewind and rewatch. First row is 9 sixes in a blank. So if this is 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's 9 sixes and a blank. So I'm not going to put anything in there. So easy. Okay. The next row has 5 sixes, a 7, and 6s to the grid. And so this is how we work, and that way if we make a mistake, we can easily come back and check and see where we made a mistake. 6 8s. And 4 5s to the grid. There we go. We're off and moving. 4 8s. So like I said, I'm going to move fast in this, and that's kind of what makes it advanced. And then I will call ahead, just meaning if I'm switching out 10, 11, or 12, and I see in the row up above that there's those, we'll throw ahead so that we don't have to pull it back down. It saves time. 2 5s. 3 3s. Ooh. And 1 4 at the grid. So it should look like that. Okay, the next row starts with a single 5. And then 2 8s. And then a single 5 again. A 4. And then 2s all the way to the grid. Now I might change this color out because I don't know that I'm going to like the brick. But we'll see. We'll just wait and see. I'll, give it a good chance, and then at the end I make my decisions. Only very rarely do I change early on. Like the egg, excuse me. The egg I changed 1, 2, and 3 very early on because they were too gritty. I didn't like them. I needed more shiny. Okay, moving on. The next row is a single 4. Ooh. A single 5. A single 8. And a single 5. And then 2s to the grid. Just like so. Okay. And the next row is 2 4s at the beginning. An 8 and a 5. And then 2s to the grid. Just like so. The next row is 4 4 as well. And this is so cute. Oh, you guys are just going to love this. It's almost anime. It has really big eyes. It's really cute. A single 5, a single 8, and then a single 5 again. And then 2s to the grid. Yeah, some sand can be this color, so I might change it out to a sand, but it would be a darker. Let's just take a look real quick before we even move on. Here's the sandstones. Smooth sandstone is it's duller. It's a lot duller. So I'm going to stick with just this color, and then maybe I'll change it out later. Okay, next row also starts out with 2 4s. And so just to make sure, I'll check on the pattern to make sure that I have 1, 2, 3 rows of 2 4s, and we do. So we're square. And then now 4 5s. Okay, so now that we're into the grid, we're just going to go ahead and get moving here. 3s to the grid, or into the, I guess, groove. Yeah. Yeah. All right. The next row has 6 5s. Wow. A 1. Ooh. And then 2s to the grid. So it looks like that. The next row starts out with 2 1s. Ah, something different. And then 3 4s. A single 5. 2s to the grid. Wow, this next row has, it goes 5 2s, a 5, and then 2s to the grid. So if you want to get really advanced, I only do this in like private settings, generally one-on-one. And for those that are, advanced, I'll call the numbers, but I'll call the whole grid line. So super advanced would be, for instance, 5 2s, a 3, and 2s to the grid. Call the whole row at once. Can't always do that because sometimes it's literally 10 different colors, but you can call quickly. I won't go that fast, but we'll just call maybe half a row at a time if it's convenient, such as 5 2s. A 1, and then a 3, and then 2s to the grid. Like so. I need to take a screenshot real quick. I forgot to take a beginning screenshot. This is going to be really colorful, you can tell. Okay. It's very quick. I like to take little pieces as we go along and then put it all together. I have like 20 to do. It's not like I do it a lot. It just like to have it for, I don't know, someday when I get some time. Okay, the next row starts out with 5 2s. A 1, a 3, and 2s to the grid. And because that is identical, I look down and make sure that it is in the pattern as well. And it is. So we are all good. The next row starts out with a single 1 followed by 3 2s. 3 1s. 3 1 2. Next row starts out 1 1 2. 1s to the grid. Next row starts out with 3 2s and 7 1s. Next row is 2 4s and 8 1s. Next row is 3 5s, 3-4, meaning a single 3 and a single 4, and then ones to the grid. Okay, the next row is 4-4, 4 3s, a 4, and then ones to the grid. Very cool. Next row starts out with 3 1s, and then 4 4s, and then 3 1s again. Symmetrical. The next row has 6 1s, 2 4s, and 2 1s. Okay, next row starts out with 4 2s, and then the rest are 1s. And the next row has 7 2s and 3 1s. Nice. The next row after that has 8 2s and 2 1s. Much easier than the Fabergé egg when you think about it. The Fabergé egg is probably just as advanced as this is. Or was just as advanced as this is. 7 2s, 3 1s. Six 2s and 4 4s. Okay, we're moving on to some change here now. So get ready. A single 3. And then we're going into 8 5s. And then a single 3. Okay, now we have a single 5 at the beginning. And then 7 4s. And 2 1s to the grid. Okay, the next one is 4 4s. 4 4. And then 1s to the grid. So I'm a little down today, if you haven't noticed. I'm not down in the sense of, out. The next row is entirely 1s. But we lost Brittany yesterday, which is one of our giant white jerseys. Chickens, they go into a hormonal shutdown every year. Or usually do, let's put it that way. And at least my breed does. The next one is a single 4. And they just shut down. Their comb goes from red, and then 1s to the grid. Their comb goes from red to coral, and gets really pale, and they just sort of sleep for a week or 2 or 3. Well, then if they go into they can also go into, if they're a weak chicken, into an extended hormonal shutdown, and that's what happened to Brittany. And basically, we just couldn't get her to eat enough and drink enough, and we had a super hot day where it was almost 100. 2 2s, and then 1s to the grid. And we tried to make sure she drank enough and kept her out of the heat. But basically, she just goes and finds a corner and sleeps. And I think she just couldn't take it, and the day after she passed away, we found her just laying on her side. Okay, so a little down. And that just happened to be on my mom's birthday, which, happy birthday, Mom. Okay, a single 9. So, Debbie Downer here, 2 2s, but that's life. And then 1s to the grid. And it doesn't mean that you're out, it just means that you're a little down for a little bit. Okay, hey, guess what? We're gonna do some switching out. So we need a 10 now. So up goes the 1, down comes the 10, and throw it once, and then throw it here 3 times on the next row, and then here 2 times on that row. And then go ahead and put your belt proper. Going back to the single 10, we now have a 5, and then a 9, and then 6 1s. I think it's 6 1s. Yeah. And then a single 4 at the grid. So that line is there. Okay, that next row starts out with the 3 10s that we already put in. And now we need a 9. And then 4 2s. Boy, that 2 is pretty prominent. I'm going to have to really like it to keep it. A 1 and a 4. Okay, the next row starts out with the 2 10s that we already put in. And now 2 9s. And I think Cricket is mourning today as well. That's the rooster. Because he's just doing nothing but crying all day long, like calling for her. A 4. And then 2s to the grid. So there's sad too. Oh, we're getting into some eyes. It's going to be so cute. Okay, so now we need 5 of those 9s. This is actually a mouth, the mouth or the nose, I think. And then 2s to the grid. The 2 might work out okay because I'm guessing that this is bunny fur. So it might work out okay. And then another identical row. 5 and 5. And then another 5 9s, but then it switches a little bit. A 4. And then 2 2s, and then 2 9s. This is the eye, starting the eye right there. So that's going to be really neat to see. The next row starts out with just 1 9. And then 6 2s. And then 3 9s to the grid. Okay, the next row starts out with 2 5s. And then 4 2s. 4 9s to the grid. Okay, we're back to needing some 10s. So up goes the 1, down comes the 10. And throw it 1 time on this row, and then the next row throw it 2. And go ahead and put your belt proper. Okay, on this row where there's the single 10, we now need 2 5s next to that. And then 2 2s. A 1, just 1 1, and then 9s to the grid. The next row, we have 2 10s that we threw already, so now we need a 5, just a single 5, a single 2, 2 1s, and 3 9s and a 5. Next row's going to have some blanks in it. And you can decide what to do, you know, with your own blanks. Sometimes I fill them in, but after the Fabergé egg, I've actually done a lot of building without filling in and making blanks myself, making a lot of lattice or lacy stuff. Okay, 5 5, and then 4 1s, and then 2 9s. And that's blanks. So just leave them blank for now, and then we'll decide what we'll do, or I'll decide what I'll do with my blanks afterwards. Being that it's an eyeball, I might put light right there. Okay, starting our next row, we have 6 1s. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1s. 2 9s, and then 2 blanks, so it's identical to the other rows. So those are blanks as well. The next row we have 7 1s and 3 9s. No blanks on this row. You see a little bunny developing there? I see a little bunny. Okay, the next row has 8 1s and 2 9s. The next row has 9 1s and 1 9. Look how high up we are. And the next, it's just 2 rows. Next 2 rows are all 1s. It actually looks like this might be fur too. I'm thinking. To me it looks that way. Okay, the next row starts out with 1 1 2 2. And then 1s to the grid. Okay, the next row starts out with just a single 1 and then 5 2s. And then 4 1s to the grid. The next row starts out with a single 1 and then 7 2s. 1 2 3 4. And 2 1s to the grid. The next row starts out with a single 2 and then 2 1s and then 2s to the grid. And then the next one starts out with a single 2 and then 3 1s. There we go. And then 2s to the grid. See, it's easy as far as throwing the color. The color is actually pretty easy. It's probably going to end up being easier than the Fabergé egg. So, intermediate advanced. A single 2, and then 4 1s, That Fabergé egg was hard for me. 4 twos, just because of all the blanks and the single one. But like I said, it taught me a lot. This one's going to have a considerable amount of blanks in the ear too, so I guess you can decide what you want to put in the ear for color. Or no, excuse me, never mind. We're almost done actually on this grid. Okay, the next row starts out with a single 2. And then it looks like 7 ones. And then 2 twos. One, two, three, four, five. 7 twos starts that next row. And then 1, 4, 5. There's some color difference, huh? Okay, the next row starts out with 2 1s and 2 3s. Ooh. And then there are 3 2s, I'm sorry. A 1, a 3, and a 5. Like that. So it looks like that. Okay, the next row starts out with a 4 and a 5. So just one of each. 1 4, 1 5. And then skip 2 and put in 3 3s. Skip 2 and put in a 5 at the grid, like that. Okay, the next one has a single 4 and a single 5 again. A single 4, a single 5, and then skip everything and go all the way here and put a 5. We're just coming to the end of the bunny. And there is no background color. I thought there was background color, but there's not. Which I prefer, actually. Okay, so the rest of these are pretty much blank. We're just hugging this grid line, finishing up the ear. So the next row is a single 2 and a single 5, and then again a single 2 and a single 5. And then the row after that is 2 1 3. So a 2, a 1, a 3. And we're going to do that 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So for a total of 4. There you go. And then 3 rows of 2 3. So 1. I don't have a throw block to throw against, so I have to create. And then a single 3 and a single 4. Oops. And then a single 3 and a single 3. And that is it for that grid. Oh, see what I mean by it's kind of anime? It's going to be really cute. Boy, that is a bright orange. We'll see what it looks like. Maybe it's the orange I'll end up not liking. Who knows, huh? We'll see. Okay. Well, hey, that's cool. What time is it? Oh, we can do another grid. Let's do another grid. Taking a sip of coffee there. Okay, so therefore, let's move over to this grid right here. And continue on. So that's kind of what's helpful about the advanced. Is you get to move a little bit faster and work through quicker. Okay, so there's this blank, and You can get rid of that. That's also a blank. And all the rest of these are blanks. So we're actually starting here on the second row, and it is all 6s. Okay? So it should look like that with all the blanks. And you can get rid of this if you want, or just leave it. We'll fix it afterwards. And you don't necessarily need to get rid of that grid piece there. If that's going to confuse you, you can leave it there. I don't want to confuse anybody, so we'll just leave it. Okay, so we've finished this grid. We're continuing right. The first row is blank. And the second row is entirely 6s. So we're going to move on and go up this one as well. So 2 5s. 5 5. Ooh, and then we get 3 7s. Ooh, 1 2 3. Look how cute they are. And then 6s to the grid. Okay, the next row starts out with 2 1s. And then 2 5s. And then 3 8s. Ooh, pretty colors. 2 6s and an 8. Finish that grid up. There we go. And I took a drink of coffee and without turning my mic off. I'm sorry. I didn't even think about it. Just I should probably check my sound, make sure everything's still good. Yeah, I just heard myself. All right. So, I got a joke for you. Little kid joke. The 2 silkworms decided to have a race. They ended up in a tie. Next row starts out with 2 2s. 2 4s. A 5. An 8. 2 6s and 2 8s. There we go. The next row also starts out with 2 2s and 2 4s. A 5. And then 8s to the grid. Like so. Next row starts out with a single 2 and a single 1. 3 4s. A 5. And then 8s to the grid. Okay, 5 4s starts that next row. And then a single 5, and it is up on top of, not diagonal of, the other 5 below it. And then 8s to the grid. Yeah, buddy. Next row starts out with just 1 1. And then 4 4s. A single 5 again. 3 6s. Ooh. I was thinking that was only going to be a base. And then an 8, the grid. Like on the ground, you know? So now I don't know what that color is. Next row has 3 1s at the beginning. 2 4s. a single 5 again, and then all 6s to the grid. I'm really confused. Next row starts out with a single 2 and then 2 1s. Four, 4, 5. And then the rest are blank on that row, so don't put anything in for now. The next row starts out with 2 2s and 2 1s. Two 4s. And then 5s to the grid. Since I have no throw block and blanks below, I have to throw sideways. Okay, that next row starts out with 2 2s and 2 1s. Some kind of pattern going on here. 2 4s. The whole thing is a pattern, mammy. A single 5. And then 3 4s to the grid. And the next row starts out with 2 2s and 3 1s. Ha ha! Fooled you. A 4, a 5, and then 4s to the grid. Next row starts out with 2 2s and 3 1s. And then 4s to the grid. Okay, next row starts out with 2 2s and 3 1s. This is the last time, I promise. And then 4s to the grid. Look how fast we're moving. Next row starts out with 5 1s. Haha, you thought. I know, I did too. And then 4 4s and a 1 to the grid. So there's Cricket calling again. I think he's probably going to be that way for a while. This is the first day without her. She passed yesterday. 5 1s again. 3 4s, a 1 and a 2. Next row starts out with 5 1s and then 2 4s. And then 1 2 2. Next row starts out with 5 1s and then a 4 3. One, 2 2. The next row has got 4 1s. Haha. Pretty bright yellow. I might have to make it more dull because in the pattern it's not as this bright. It's a little bit more duller, but we'll see. It might be really cool. 2 4s, a 5, and then 3 2s to the grid. The next row also has 4 1s at the beginning. A 4 3, and then 2s to the grid. Next row has 4 1s and then a 4 3 and then 2s to the grid, so it's identical. Identical. The next row has 3 1s and a 4 5. a single 1, and then 2s to the grid. The next row after that has 2 1s and 2 4s, a single 5, and then 2s to the grid. Nice. Next row has 1 1 4 5 1. And then 5 and 2s to the grid. The next one is 1 4 5. And now 3 blanks. So 1, 2, 3, and then a 5 again, and then a 3, and then 2 2 to the grid. Okay, the next row starts out with 2 4s and a 5. And then we have a lot of blanks. There's only 2 3s at the end of the grid, so the rest are blank, just like that. The next row has a single 4 and a single 5, and then the rest are blank. The next row starts out with a 3, and then it has 4 5s, and then the rest are blank. Like that. And the next row starts out with 4 1s, a 3, and 2 5s. Like that. Next row starts out with 3 2s and 3 1s. A 4 and 2 5s. Oops. That's a blank. The next row starts out with 4 2s and a 1. And then 4 4s and a 5. So a solid line. Yay! And then a 1 followed by 3 3s. A 4. 1 1. And then 4s to the grid. Like so. The next one starts out with 4 3s. Two 4s, 2 1s, and 2 4s. The next one starts out with 5 3s and then a 4. And then 1s to the grid. The next one starts out with 5 3s again. A single 4. 3 1s. And then a 4 to the grid. Five 3s and 5 1s. Four 3s and then a 4. 2 ones, 2 fours, and a 1. Okay, the next one is starting out with some blanks. So let's just start at this grid here, and there's a 1, 2 fours, a 1, a 5, and the rest are blanks. Okay? So we're just going to work it that way. Just for that one time, because the next row starts out with a single 9. And then we have blanks again. So let's just go back to here, it'll be easier. And we need to put 3 ones, a 5, and then a 4, and then the blanks to the 9. It's gotta mean something, huh? Blanks to the 9. Okay, the next row has 2 9s. And then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna put in 3 1s and a 5. And then the rest are blank on that row as well. The next row starts out with 3 9s. And then same thing, come to the grid, put in 3 1s and a 5. And that's it for that row. The next row starts out with 3 9s as well. And then we have 2 blanks, but let's just keep going here. It's easier because we don't have anything to throw against. 3 1s, a 5, and a 4. Looks like that. Next one starts out with 3 9s as well. Same thing, come here, put 3 1s, a 9, and then a 4. And there's blanks there, 2 of them. Okay, the next one starts out with 3 9s. Big eyes, huh? 2 blanks. And now we have something to throw against. So we could put a 9 and then 1s to the grid. The next one only has 2 9s at the beginning. And then we're into the blanks. We have 2 of them. So let's do the same thing. Let's go here since we have nothing to throw against. And we'll just start at that grid with 4 1s. And then just a 9. Finishes that line. Oh, no, a 9 and a 4. I'm sorry. Apologize. Yep. A 9 and a 4. I was reading the wrong row. Okay, the next row starts out with just a single 9 that has 3 blanks. So let's just go ahead and come to the end and put in 5 1s. And then a single 9. That's the one that I was reading accidentally, like that. Alright, the next row starts with blanks, so we're just going to start from this far right grid, and we're going to put in 6 1s, a 9, and a 4. There we go. And there should be 2 blanks, which there are. So, good deal. Now we're back to solid lines again, so the next row starts out with 3 9s, and then the rest are 1s. Okay, the next row has 9 ones and a 3. And the next row starts out with 3 ones and then 1 3. There we go. And then 5 ones and a 3. Like that. Okay, the next row starts out with 2 ones and 2 3s. And then 4 ones, a 5, and then a blank. So just don't put anything there. Next row starts out with 2 3s, 5 ones, a 3, a 5, and then a blank. So don't put anything there. Okay, this next one starts out with 6 ones, 3 5, and 2 blanks. 1 2 3 4 5 6 3 5 and 2 blanks. Next one starts out with 3 ones and 2 2s. Then a 1 4 5. And then 2 blanks. Next row starts out with 3 ones and 3 2s. It's a solid line. Yay. 1 4 5 5. 1. Yay. Solid. Okay, the next row starts out with a single 1 and then 3 3s. A single 1. And now 4 2s. And then a 1 4 to the grid. Okay, we're coming down to it. This is the top of the ear. A single 2 and then 4 3s. 4 2s. And a 1 at the grid. The next row starts out with a single 1 followed by 6 3s. 2 2s and a 1. Yeah, buddy. The next row starts out with a single 2, seven 3s, and 2 1s at the grid. Next row starts out with 2 1s. Oops. And then 7 3s. And single 1. Okay, the next row starts out with 1 1. 7 3s again. It's identical. And 1 1. The next row starts out 2 1 1 and then the rest are 3s. Okay, the next one starts out 2, 1, 1, and the rest are 3s, so it's an identical. Next one starts out with a single 5, then a 2, 1, 1. And then the rest are 3s. The next row is a single 5, 2, 1, 1, and 3s. Okay, the next row starts with a blank, so nothing there, and then a 3 there, and then 3 1s, and then 3s to the grid, like so. Next row also starts out with a blank, and then a 3, and then 2, 1, 1, and then 3s to the grid. Okay, the next one starts out with 2 blanks, and then a 3, and then 2, 1, 1, and then 3s to the grid, like so. The next one starts out with 2 blanks as well, and then a 3, and then we have 2 2s, 3 1s, and 2 3s to the grid. Okay, the next one starts out with 3 blanks, so let's just start from the grid here and put in, we'll just go right to left. So we're just going to go 4 1s, 2 2, and a 3 for that row. The next row has 5 2s over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s, and then just a single 3. The next row has 3 2s, 2 4s, and then this top row has 3 4s is all, just like so. There you go. Oh, it's going to be really cute. That's really cute. It's not as tall as I thought it was going to be. Otherwise, I would have put it closer to the egg. I thought it was going to be much taller. But that's all right. I really like it. I'm just looking at the eye thinking, well, gosh, I could already put white in the eye. I don't want to be able to see the green. So that means that I would have that and that as auxiliary colors. So now we're getting into the advanced a little bit, okay? So I'm going to simply come over here and put in light. And I'm just looking now. These are just my blanks. I don't want to be able to see through the eye and see the background color. So that's how my eye is going to look. All colored in like that. So now I've gone from a 12 piece. So I have 10, 11, 12, 13. So now I have 14 colors in this pixel art. So I won't be filling in all the blanks. It's okay to see the background, but not on the eye for me. Oh, it's so cute. It almost looks like a dog at this point. It's so cute. Like a little chihuahua. A little long-haired chihuahua. But it's not. It's a bunny. I promise. Take a screenshot. And you know what we gotta do? We gotta do a clip. Ready? You do a clip with me in 3, 2, 1. Bam. Oh, well that won't work. I have to go back and start again. I can't be having that stuff upload while I have the clip. Sorry. Okay, you're ready? 3, 2, 1. Bam. It's a Grandmaster Bunny. Grandmaster Bunny scene. Next to my Fabergé egg water scene. Makes me smile. It's really cute. Alright, end clip. End clip! Alright, we're done for the day. You know what I didn't do? I didn't ring the frickin' bell again. That's too loud. Turn your sound down. I know. Alright, well let's stand right here because it's too cute. And I might use this as a clip. I don't know. When I say goodbye. Oh, look, I match! Me and my bunny, we match today. We're having fun saying, hey, hey, hey. It's Tuesday. Go out and play. Do something good. Do something gay. And by gay, I mean fun, not strange or sad. Don't be mean or ignorant to those who are mad. Oh, I'm going the wrong way with this. It's not what I mean. I'm really quite liberal. It's just doesn't seem. I'm having an off day because my chicken died. So, give me a break, as I have not yet cried. I love you. Hugs, 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 hugs. Have a great day. And don't forget, really, seriously, to play. I'm twins. Bye. I'll see you next week. Be safe.